Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Caitlin Marie. So, clearly, it's going to be a what I watched in November video. And this will be up on time. This also is going to be a very long video. So I'm very sorry about it because I have watched 39 movies this month, which I'm very confused on why I watched more this month than I did in October when I was trying to get 31 movies. But, yeah. But last thing I want is to make the video a lot longer, so social media is right here. And let's just get started. Okay, so the first video that I watched this month was Halloween, the 1978 version. It's Halloween, Michael Myers. You guys should basically know what it is. I give that an 8 out of 10, and I was able to watch it on Shudder. And then I watched Winx Club, The Secret of the Lost Kingdom. I give that a 10 out of 10. And basically, it is basically just Winx Club is the first movie they have. Bloom wants to go find her parents because she doesn't know what happened to them. So her and the Winx and the specialist go to, like 1 second I think, go to Domino to basically try and figure out what happened to her parents. And then she wants to go and save her parents. So it's about that. Honestly, really good movie. So, recommend. I have the movie on DVD, but you can stream it for free on YouTube. And then I watched Pledge. This one was 2018. I give that an 8.5 out of 10. Basically, we have, I think there's 3 boys. Basically, they're in college, and they want to join a sorority. And then they get invited to this one thing, and it seems all nice and amazing. Basically, they spend the night to go do, like, a pledge to, like, the sorority. And they basically have to do, like, a whole bunch of weird stuff. They have to eat something. They have to get branded. They have... I don't remember, but yeah. There's the rat trap. So if you don't know what that is, basically they put something over top of the rat on your stomach, and then make the rat and put a hot thing on it, so the rat would basically dig its stomach out. So if you guys cannot watch that scene, which I honestly had to look away, beware. Honestly, from this movie, I honestly was expecting it to be more gruesome, more stuff they had to do, but honestly I think it was 3 things basically. And then it's okay, but then when they kind of this end kind of gets a little slow, and the end didn't make that much sense. It kind of felt a little rushed for the last 5 minutes, but it is on Hulu if you want to give it a try. And then I watched The Devil's Rejects, basically the second movie in the House of 1,000 Corpses trilogy. So basically it's the aftermath of what happened at the end of the first one, and then they had a shootout, and basically Baby, I forgot his name, and then Captain Spaulding basically just drive around and basically do nasty things to people. And honestly, it's really disgusting. There's a whole bunch of nude scenes. I think there's sex. There is sex. So basically that's just what it is. It is on Tubi, and Tubi is free, and I gave that a 7 out of 10. And then I watched Captain Fantastic. This one is on Netflix. It is very socialist. So basically we have this family, and basically the father makes them live outside and in the woods, basically home, teach them basically, they're not on the phones all the time. They actually do stuff, and then they go into war because the mother dies, so they have to go in the funeral. Honestly, it was okay, a little boring. It was kind of funny at times, but I did kind of, the whole socialist stuff, it kind of, stressed us out. But I didn't really enjoy it that much, but it was between the like and the dislike. And then I watched The Addams Family 2, the new one that was in theaters, but I think it is on Hulu right now, or Peacock for a premium subscription. But then it's just the second one to the animated version, and basically they go on to a family vacation, and then I guess someone is claiming to be Wednesday's father. So there's that thing. And then I watched Supervised. This one, I did not think I would like it, but I honestly really enjoyed it. It's on Hulu. Basically, we have the superheroes. Basically, now they're in an old retirement home, and then one of them who was the main person, kind of like Superman, who's the main person or whatever, basically finds something going on, so then he tries to solve it. It's really funny. It's really good, interesting. I think you should watch it with your family. I did. I did not think that it would be good at first, but then it got really good. So I give that an 8.5 out of 10. And then I watched Palm Strings. That is on Hulu. again, I did not think it would be that interesting, but it was. So basically, it's one of those things you relive the day over and over and over again, which I don't like those type of things. But it is kind of cool because it kind of says how. Basically, we have this girl, and then she's at her sister's wedding, which it has Camila Mendes. You don't know who that is. She plays Veronica in Riverdale. So basically, then she meets this guy, and then he goes into this thing, like this weird thing, and then she follows him. So basically, they live the exact same thing. It is really funny, but then like the way it like kind of ties everything, like the end, and it like she like disappears, whatever. So then it shows him and what he's doing without her, and but then after that it shows her and what she's done, so it kind of like connects the dots. I really did enjoy the movie though, so definitely watch. I gave that an 8.5 out of 10. And then I watched Paranormal Activity. This one I watched my friend's house. She has a DVD. They might be on Paramount Plus. I do not know for sure. Basically, I'm not a big fan of one, supernatural movies, and two, found footage movies, but the way they did this was really cool. So basically, we have this girl, and then she has been basically followed by a ghost her entire life, and then her and her boyfriend moved in together. So basically, like, you know, the ghost follows both of them, and they want to try and catch her on camera and figure out what the heck is going on. And then basically, the boyfriend kind of aggravates the ghost. So I think it's really interesting. I want to watch the other movies, but yeah. And I give that an 8 out of 10. And then I watched Luca. I was expecting something else, but basically, it's like about this little fish thing, and then it comes out of the water, and then it means his friend. I forgot his name. I'd say Pablo, but I do not think that's even correct at 1 minute. So basically, they want to go and get this special bike. So then they help this girl they meet who's not a fish like them. And they go into this competition to try and get money to win the bike. And then we have the parents trying to find the kid, Luca. So I think it's really interesting. The other kid, Luca, and the girl, they become best friends, so the one kind of feels like left out, and he gets in a win. But I do think it's a really cute Halloween family movie, which I was an 8.5 out of 10. And then I watched The Ice Road, and just like with some of the movies on here, I did not think I would like it, but honestly it was really interesting. So it's on Netflix. Basically, we have this mining thing that happens, I'm going to say Alaska. And basically they get trapped, and like the miners get trapped into the mine. So like these truck drivers have to go deliver something so they can save the miners. And I have to go on the ice road, which that is a real thing, which I really didn't. And it's like really like it's dangerous and like much because you know the ice is melting. So I think it's really cool. Like not all are just driving, but like someone is trying to stop them from delivering this stuff because I don't know, I think the twists and turns on it, I think it's really good. I really enjoyed it. I give that an 8.5 out of 10. And then we watched Love Hood, which is a Nina Dobrev Christmas movie. So good. I think when you kind of like the ending is a little bit like, what's the word? You can kind of guess the ending, which I'm not gonna say it. But basically we have, I forgot her name. Basically she's always on these Tinder apps, and then basically she's always meeting these guys and all these dates, and they never work out. But then she meets this one guy who lives, she's in California, and he lives somewhere else, and they connect. So she decides she's going to leave California and meet him. But then it turns out that it wasn't actually him, it was Catfish. So then she lives with that guy because she's pretending to be his girlfriend. And then he helps her meet the real guy, Tag, who was pretending to be. Honestly, it's really funny. He does get kind of annoying because, like, she was mad at the guy for pretending to be someone he wasn't, but then she kind of goes and pretends to be someone she wants to get Tag. And then they do a whole thing about Baby It's Cold Outside. They do, like, a whole cover. So funny. If you've seen Love Actually, they do stuff on that. And then they talk about Die Hard and how it's a Christmas movie. So I think it's a really, really good, interesting movie you should watch with the family. And that was a 9 out of 10. Man, only 8 minutes in, I've gotten through 12 movies. Wow. So then we watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, 10 out of 10. I bought the movie. It's not anywhere where you can have it. You guys should basically know what Harry Potter is. And then I watched The Search for Santa Paws. That is on Disney Plus. And basically we have Santa, and then he gets this dog. And basically they have like a crystal. And basically they go into New York to help the Hucklebuck, to like help them do something. And then basically Santa kind of like loses his crystal, and he loses his memory and becomes sick. And then Santa Paws goes into this orphanage which I think is really cute, and it's just, I love this movie. It's like my favorite Christmas movie of all time. And then I watched the 2021 version of Long Term. I gave that a 9 out of 10. And then I watched He's Out There, that's on Prime Video. Basically, it has the girl who plays Serena in The Handmaid's Tale, and basically it was this mother and then her 2 children, and basically they go into a secluded place, and then the father's right behind them because they're doing some Christmas stuff, and basically something goes and terrorizes them. So it's like a home invasion movie, but it kind of like twists. The ending, it was okay. It was a little confusing, but I did enjoy the ending. An 8 out of 10. And then I watched The Santa Claus. Everyone knows what that is. So that 9 out of 10. And then I watched Legally Blonde. 9 out of 10. It's on Netflix still, and The Santa Claus is on Disney Plus. And then I watched the new God's Not Dead, We the People. It is on Pureflix. I think it's a really good movie. It's the 4th in the God's Not Dead franchise. It brings back a lot of the characters from the first movie. Basically talks about the homeschooling and basically about how they shouldn't be allowed to, because they were talking about God, and apparently they didn't like that. So there was this whole debate on, they basically either had to stop doing homeschooling and go to a public school, and then, or they either had to go and get charged like $5,000 for each day. And basically it talks about kind of kids like me who do not do well in public schools, and basically the homeschool is a better option for them. So it talks about them trying to talk about like homeschooling, like it talks about that, and basically it's a really good movie. Basically makes you understand for what you believe in, because how life right now, it's going to start out with you have to get a vaccine, and then it's going to go on with you have to make all your kids go to public school, and then like it can start off one little thing and basically all your rights are getting taken away. And it's about like all the people, like all the soldiers and people who fought for our freedom or are fighting for our freedom right now, basically how we should try and keep that, because once you lose your freedom, it's gone. So it makes you believe that. So I gave that a 9 out of 10. And then I watched The Night Before Christmas. This was a really good movie. It's about a knight and basically how he does this, goes into the normal world. So it's so funny seeing him act like, you know, a knight and then live in the 21st century. It's really cute. That's 9 out of 10. It's on Netflix. This is Christmas Wedding Planner. I was expecting a lot more from this movie. It just wasn't really that much. Basically, it's about this girl and her first real gig, and planning a wedding for, I think, her cousin. And then this guy is trying to basically prove that the groom is a cheating scumbag. So then it's okay. I was expecting it to be better, honestly. It's cheesy, but it is kind of cute. It's an 8 out of 10. And then I watched Great White. This one's so, I love it. It's on Shudder. It's a Shudder exclusive. Basically, we have these 2 couples, and they're gonna go on like a plane ride or whatever, and then they basically go, and then they find a dead body from a shark. So they want to go and like look for like the girl, because they might like, you know. So then the shark kind of attacks like the ship, but then they have to go and they live on a life raft. So I really think it's interesting. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did because on a life raft, but I did think it was a really excellent movie in the way they did it, and honestly it gave me a lot of anxiety because the shark was freaking scary, and it turned out there were 2 sharks instead of 1. So I think it was a really good movie. I think that's like a spoiler, but one of the girls, the blonde one, basically she is pregnant, and I thought, cute, she's pregnant, but then it doesn't add anything. So I hate movies where they make someone pregnant, but then it doesn't add anything to the movie. Because I've been like, oh, maybe at the end, you know, like, it would show, like, her baby, then she'd name it after one of the people who died. But no, like, it was just nothing. Basically, it was just her saying she was pregnant, and it was, like, kind of done and over with. And then I gave that a 9 out of 10. And then I watched Snowbound for Christmas. Do not recommend. It is so bad. Oh, my gosh. It's so cringy and so boring, and it's on Netflix. Basically, it's about these 2 people, and they basically stay at this hotel, and they get snowbound. And we'll get together for 24 hours, and then at the end, they'll be like, I love you. We're like, you were together for 24 hours. It sounds like middle school. So it just wasn't that good. And then we had The Bald Christmas. That was on Pureflix. Do not recommend. I literally for like a student film. I think that the idea was a cute idea, but the way they did it, if they had a bigger budget than what they had, I would have enjoyed it more. Basically, we have this man who's rich, but you know, has everything, but doesn't have a family. So basically, he rents a family. You know, like he rents them to do like decorations. People pretend to be his family. So I think it was a really cute concept, but the way it was just acted was not okay. We have Aqua Slash, which is 2019. I was expecting so much. Like I was expecting to be like 10 times better than what it is. I rented it for $7. There was sex and body parts as always. Basically, it was about these graduates, and then they will go and they go to like this amusement water park, and basically there's like these razor blades and the water slides when they go down. But the thing is the entire movie went leading up for it. I'm pretty sure like the last 5 minutes was the actual horror and the last thing, and like it was really boring, so I just don't recommend. And I gave that 6 out of 10. And then I gave The Ballad of Christmas a 5.5 out of 10. And then Christmas in Hoyland, I gave that an 8.5 out of 10, and that's on Netflix. Basically, we have these two girls, and they never met their grandparents, and they meet each other on a flight. Basically, they decide to like kind of switch lives. It's one of those, except they're not twins and everything, which is really weird of how this, like, they're like 15, 16, and the grandparents never know what they look like. So I think it's really cute. I do recommend. It's on Netflix. And then I watched A Christmas Catch. This one's on Netflix. It's about a detective and how she has to go do a suspect and get like a diamond reindeer, and has to like prove like that he did it or find out, you know, whatever. But then she falls in love with him. So I think it's really cute, and the really makes you want to become a detective. So yeah, and like a little twist at the end, that was cool. I give that an 8 out of 10. And then we watched Home Sweet Home Alone. It is the 6th movie in the Home Alone franchise. And then we have, it was on Disney Plus. Basically, the only reason we watched it is because it had some ties in with the McAllisters from Home Alone 1 and 2. I did think it was pretty awesome because it wasn't just them being in the home and the traps leading up to it. It was other stuff, and I think like there was only like 20 minutes of like the whole like house thing. I think it was really interesting, and then we get to see like the burglars, and then we get to see the kids. So something, you know. So I think it's really cute. Home Alone, yeah. Oh my gosh, a really cute Christmas movie to watch with your family. So I gave that an 8 out of 10. And then I watched Fender Bender. This one, again, I was expecting so much better, but it was okay. Basically, it was about this guy who gave the girl a Fender Bender in the car, and basically, you know, like do like insurance stuff, you know, for insurance, which I think, honestly, like, I don't know if that's really real because I haven't dealt with that stuff yet, but like, giving them the name and then your address to the person who did it, I feel like that's really unsafe because then the person, I know it's for insurance so you can get insurance on the car, but I think it's really unsafe because then the person will just know where you live, you know? But yeah, it was just a little boring. I give that an 8 out of 10. And then I watched Red Notice. That's the new Dwayne Johnson movie. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds. Oh my gosh, I love Ryan Reynolds. Like, I did not know how much I loved him until this month. I was like, he's so funny. So basically, we had this FBI BAU profiler, and then and then there's like these 3 eggs they need to get. So then basically he teams up with like the second most biggest burglar to try and get like the second and third egg, because he wants to try and prove his innocence, because the biggest burglar, who played I think Wonder Woman, she like framed him for not being who he was. So then he wants to go and catch her. So I think it's really good. It's really funny, and there's like a twist at the end or whatever, which is really funny. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And in this movie, that and Black Widow made me think, oh my gosh, I need to watch Marvel movies. So on Disney Plus, and basically Shang-Chi, and then if you guys have not seen the next level of Jumanji, the one, I don't want to say it's gonna be like a racist, but like, you know, I forgot her name. The one like Asian woman, the one cat burglar person, her act was in, which I loved her in this, definitely a freaking baddie. So basically a Shang-Chi, and then his father has 10 rings, and he wants to go to like where like the mother was from, because at first the mother was trapped behind the wall, but it turns out it wasn't actually, and if he goes and gets her from the wall, then it's going to unleash a terrible wrath. So then they had to go and save that. The first, I think, 5 minutes is in a different language, but then like it changes to English. I thought it was a really good movie, so definitely recommend. And that was an 8.5/10. And then I watched 3 from Hell. It is the last movie in the House of a Thousand Corpses. This one was good. We have Baby and then her brother and then the Wolfman or someone like that. Because Captain Spaulding dies. And basically, I thought it was pretty cool how it has them arrested. And then it has them in jail. And I thought it was cool how we had like the two men basically terrorizing them. And then it showed Baby in jail, which I think was so funny watching her in jail. But she was like older, which I know like the movie came out, like the second one came out in 2006 and this one's like 2019, so of course she's gonna be older. But I thought it was really cute, but of course they're all scenes, but I do recommend. And it's kind of has like the same thing as the second one, how someone wants to get back at them for doing something, so they try and kill them. But I think it is better than the second one. I don't remember what I gave the first one. I gave that an 8.5 out of 10. And then Deadpool, which is basically what made me feel like, oh my gosh, Ryan Reynolds is awesome. It's on Hulu. This one, I did not think I would like it. Well, guys, you know, it's kind of a theme of this. Sorry, I'm like talking a lot. You know, so you guys know that we are 20 minutes in, and I am on movie number 33. So I think I'm going very well. But Deadpool, basically it's about Deadpool, and basically he had cancer, so he goes to thing to try and, you know, get rid of the cancer, but then he becomes a mutant, and he goes back, tries to kill a person as a mutant. I think it's awesome. I think the humor is so good. Definitely love this movie. I give it a 9.5 out of 10, and it is on Hulu. And then I watched Uncanny Annie from 2019. That is on Hulu, and it's from the Into the Dark series, and you guys, and anthology. You guys don't have to watch the other movies, which is what I thought. It's just, they're all different movies with different holidays. This holiday is around Halloween, and then we have this like this board game. It's like a Jumanji, but then like the board game kind of goes after them. Basically, you have to do this thing, and if you don't do it, you have to do something else. It has the one guy from Halloween Kills, and then after the boyfriend, it has him, which he's really hateable. And if you guys have seen Rain, and then the person who plays Queen Amelia Scott plays Wendy, so I thought that was really interesting. I thought the movie was really good. The hide and seek scene, that like whole scene, it like really like gave me like so much anxiety. And then like the jokester, whatever, he was really creepy looking. And then I watched Jungle Cruise, which I was at my birthday, so watch the July recap if you want a whole big thing on it. But it's Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. It's on Disney Plus. So good. It's basically, it's kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean, how it is. And then I gave that 9.5 out of 10. And then I watched New Year, New You, which is also like from the Into the Dark series anthology. I gotta call it an anthology because an anthology is like, you know, like the different movies and they're all connected, but a series is kind of all connected. So this one takes place on New Year's, and then basically it has this one girl, and she's like a social media influencer, and she goes and meets her old friends from high school, and I guess the girl bullied someone into doing something. So if you guys cannot watch Suicide or get triggered by it, I do not recommend you watch this. So then they try and then get her to confess, but then it kind of turns around, so like the girl goes after the high school friends. It was a little boring. I was expecting it to be a lot better than what it was. It was more like a home invasion movie, but like not. But I gave that 7.5 out of 10. And it's on Hulu. And then I watched Deadpool 2, which was not as good as the first one, but it still was good. The first 5 minutes really ticks me off because my favorite character dies. But at the same time, watch the movie, you just know what like point of a living. Because, yeah. But it's Deadpool, and basically he wants to try and save this little kid. And it's someone from the future who wants to kill the kid, because then it goes back to his family being killed. So, you know, he wants to like, kind of save his family. So I think it's really good. The one girl, I forgot her name, but she was like her like special Marvel mutant powers being lucky. She's a freaking baddie. I loved her. And I loved how it has the X-Men from it. So yeah, I think Deadpool 2 is awesome. Give that an 9 out of 10. And then we watched Ernest Saves Christmas. This one. It's on Disney Plus. The Ernest movies are not that good. I mean, it was like okay, but it wasn't. It was basically, I don't know. Basically, Santa Claus needs to find a new heir to be Santa Claus. So then they try and find one, but then he goes to jail. And I don't know. The whole thing is a little like messy. I kind of didn't pay that much attention to it because it just wasn't really that interesting. It was okay. Maybe have like a little kid. Like, my brother watched it and he thought it was funny. So, like, maybe, like, for, like, a younger kids, for it be, like, the funniness. But I gave that 7.5/10. And the last movie I watched was A Castle for Christmas. If you guys have seen Wesley from The Princess Bride or the Doctor from Saw 1, he is in it. I thought it was really cool to have Wesley in a new movie. Basically, we have this girl and she writes a book, and then no one liked the ending of her book. So then she goes to Scotland and then rents and then buys his castle, but then she ends up living with, like, the owner of the castle into Christmas time, which I thought it was really cute. She was a little bit older, and I wasn't used to, like, having, like, you know, like, an older, you know, like, someone like their 20s be, like, the main character. I did think it was really cute. Makes you kind of want to live in Scotland because of how beautiful Scotland is. But I gave it an 8/10. And that is all I've watched today. Not gonna lie, I thought this would be, like, a 40-minute video, but since I've been fast with my reviews, it's only, like, 26 minutes. So, yeah. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, Castle for Christmas is on Netflix. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next Thursday.